Welcome back. In my last video, I played the first 4 of the new bots that chess.com has, and once again, I don't know how long these bots will be on the site. A lot of the bots come and go pretty quickly, especially these promotional bots. But the next one on the list, which I said at the end of my last video I probably would play in the next video, is Hog-Rider, rated 1200. I think this is based on a video game. I said I didn't know in the last video, but my wife and children told me, yes, there is a video game that they've seen ads for called Clash of Clans, and they're pretty sure that that's what these are based on. I'm just going to choose Hog-Rider, rated 1200, let the computer choose the colors, challenge no help of any kind, and I'm going to do my best, as I did with the others. I did pretty well against the others. I think it was only the third one that I had any trouble at all with, but my mistakes came after I was well ahead, which I'm okay with. So I'm going to click play here, and I got black with all 4 of those bots. And I got black pieces again, even though you saw I selected random colors. And once again, we got the Vant Courageous opening, which we got with the first one. And again, I know I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. D5 was one of my best responses here. That can't be good. I expected that from the 300 or 500 rated bot. I'm pretty sure here I need to put this knight out to protect that pawn, right? No, that pawn's already protected by my queen. But I guess that's one of the reasons for this opening, is because the knight and the bishop can come out so quickly, and that's one of the reasons that d5 is a good response, because it keeps the bishop from coming out to c4. But yeah, I think knight to f6 has got to be a good response to this. It forces a queen move. Now the queen's aiming here. I guess I could just play the g6 and castle right into that, or I could play h6 and see where the queen goes now. It went here. Well, that's fine, because I was about to play this knight, wasn't I? Should I quit worrying about the queen? I mean, it's in here bothering me. And I don't want to put the knight on c6, because then that gets in the way of my c-pawn. But maybe I shouldn't worry about that. Maybe I should just worry about developing my pieces. Oh, wait, I can put it here though, because I don't need my queen to defend the d-pawn anymore, because my other knight's defending the d-pawn. Let's just keep harassing the queen. I really don't like it when opponents bring the queens out that early, so I think now I've already trapped in my own bishop here. No, but see, now if I play this and try to get the bishop out this way, they're aiming at this pawn. Should I keep going for the queen? I think I will. The bot's only going to move its queen, and I think this might eventually help me develop some of my pieces. And now it's not aimed at the g-pawn anymore. Now I can get my other knight out to protect that one, and then I can move this one if I need to. Okay, they've moved the queen back in there. I'm going to get my dark squared bishop out and castle. That's not coming here, and it doesn't bother me if it goes there. I'm going to play a little conservatively, and then I am going to castle here, trying to follow opening principles. I probably should have pushed. Okay, that may not be a blunder down there, what their king just did, king to d1, but it's not a good move. I know that. Let's see. My d-pawn is protected, so I could just go after their knight and see where it's going to go. Where is it going to go? It's going to go back there. Okay. Well, now this pawn's not defended, is it? Well, and I don't want to challenge the queen, because they can stop that with a pawn move. What to do about that pawn? And so that must have been a mistake on my part. Do I have to bring this down now, or can I bring the queen up? That takes away a runaway spot for my knight. Although I guess it can always run back here if it needs to. I'm coming up here to protect my e-pawn. Well, oh, that keeps my knight from running away here. I guess I could go ahead and offer a knight trade, but I would like to get one more piece out. Is that being too greedy? Let's get one more piece out. Oh, and that's keeping the other, taking away the other runaway square for the knight. I can challenge that immediately. Since my opponent is just throwing pawns, I think I can go there and take this way if they take. Ooh, wow. Okay, that looks sharp. Well, let's protect that with a pawn then. Okay, yeah, they took away all the runaway squares for my knight, except that one. That's a fork of their queen and rook, right? And that pawn used to guard the g3, and it doesn't anymore. I think they just gave me a new running away square for the knight. Oh, they've challenged my queen. Okay, should I let him have it? No, I should just take the pawn. I'm still challenging there too. Okay, that's not really a spectacular move. I can just move over one, but then I'm not defending that pawn anymore, so maybe I should drop back to c7. The whole reason I put my queen up there was to defend my e-pawn. So I'm going to drop back to c7. If they take my bishop, I'm going to take their queen. And then they took their. I think I can take that with my pawn. Kind of have to, I guess. And I'm up 5 points of material. 2 points of material because they got my knight. All right, and now my king is open. So I probably should move my king. Let's see, they have a light squared bishop, so I want to keep my king on dark squares, I guess. But maybe first I should bring this rook over to c8, which, I mean, it's not threatening mate yet, but it's threatening a pawn, I guess. And they moved the pawn, okay. Should I try to threaten this check? That doesn't really do anything. What else is undefended in their position? Everything is defended in their position, except that pawn. Can I get there? Not really. Okay. I also, my king is a little bit trapped here. How can I fix that? I think I can bring this bishop up and then maybe back down. No, that leaves that pawn in charge over here. Let's advance this pawn and then maybe that one so my king can come out this way if it needs to. Okay. Yeah, let's do this, and then I'll castle my king here in the middle, maybe. Ooh, go in for that pawn. Well, that pawn is really well protected right now. And now I can go for that pawn. Should I try it? They're just going to protect it with the rook, right? Probably. Or they could protect it by moving their knight again. They seem to like moving their knight back and forth a lot. But, you know what? I'm going to lift this rook over and do it that way, I think. My opponent is making lots of random nonsense moves, looks like. Okay, they did move to protect that pawn, but everything else is protected, I think. Yeah, that's protected by a knight, and it's protecting these 2 pawns. Oh, that knight's not protected. Where's the knight gonna go? It went back over there. Okay. That bishop's doing double duty. Should I worry about that? Or should I should push here and think about undoubling my pawns. But if I push, they can push, and then we're locked up. And their knights become stronger than my bishop. Well, they have a light squared bishop too. Maybe I should push here, and then they can't lock it up. Okay, I'm going to push the d pawn, which gets out of the way of this bishop, by the way. Oh, they're going to let me take. Which one should I take? I should take that one, because this one over here, the c3 pawn's defended twice by their pawn and their knight that hasn't moved yet. This one's only defended by a pawn. Okay, and they could still lock this up. Let's see, if I press that, I'm threatening their rook. But again, they could lock it up here. I don't want to do that, and that puts a stop to these 2 doubled pawns. If I push that and they lock it up, I think I'll be okay. But you know what? First I want to pin that knight, and I am threatening a check over here, and I'm lining up with my bishop. Oh, they've moved the king out of the pin. Okay. And they moved the king out of the potential coming check. Not bad. Wow. I'm only up, 1 piece and down a pawn? Or I'm up an exchange? That's what it is. I'm up an exchange, a rook for a knight. I'm pretty bad at math. I got a queen, but then they got a few of my pieces. So, but yeah, the queen, it should be more powerful than this. What can I do? I can put more pressure on that, but then it can just move. You know what? If it moves, I'll get their bishop. How about that? Now I have 2 pieces aiming at their knight. Where's it going to go? Oh, now they have pieces defending it. Okay. I can check here with my rook because that knight is pinned. Where can they go? Let's see. Oh, I guess they could attack the rook. Well, that's not good. But you know what? I am up slightly on material, so let's trade the bishop for that knight, maybe. Or let's do this. Line up more pieces here because now the knight's been repinned. Okay, now we can take the knight. And now that we're up another piece, we can probably trade off for this bishop and have a battery aimed at that knight. See what they want to do. Do they want to take it? Okay, they moved the knight. That was probably smart. I think I want to come in here and threaten their c-pawn. I don't want to go where I was going because the knight is gone now, but I can threaten the c-pawn. Do you think I can win it? Let's see if we can win the c-pawn because I didn't see anything a lot better. They protected it. Good for them. I kind of thought that they would. Again, not quite sure what to do with these pawns here. Maybe I need to bring the queen back. You know what? Moving that one up might let my queen back. No, they'll lock it up because they're not going to take, right? I don't think they're going to further open up their king. Or should I come over here and aim for that pawn? That would invite their rook to come up, maybe. But then would I have anything? Let's see. If I came back to a6, threatening this pawn, the only way they could keep protecting both of them would be to move up. But they would only need to protect that one, so they might move over. But either way, I could either move up to threaten the other pawn, or I could move up to threaten the rook if it went here. Let me try that. Threatening an undefended pawn. See if they move to defend it. They did. Okay, see, I can edge up one here, and there's a pinned pawn. And they can't move their king closer to protect it. They move their king further away, so I think I get this pawn now, which makes me slightly further ahead than I was. Now I can check, but then they block with the rook, and then I wouldn't want to do that because their knight's already also guarding that square. See, if I check and they block, then do I have anything? Not really. And I don't want to check first with the rook, so how about I bring the rook over to b1 and threaten that check? Here. They've pushed their other pawn. So now when I check, if they move out of check instead of blocking, then their rook, then I would just trade off of their rook. Okay, let's do that. Check on b2. They put their rook there, so I'm going to take it. If I check on their second rank, of course, when they move out, then their rook is defended by the knight, and so I wouldn't be picking up a pawn. So I think I need to bring the other rook over then. Also, that knight's guarding this pawn, which the rook isn't protecting anymore, but let's rotate this other rook this way. They've moved out. Okay. Gonna check there. Take the rook. See what they take back with. They took back with the king because the knight is still guarding this pawn. Nice. Okay, but now I'm gonna win their a pawn. And they don't have a lot of legal moves left. Okay, well, I'm gonna undouble my pawns here. And let's see. What if I threatened the knight by moving here? Then the knight would move, I think, and I would get this pawn, right? I think. My queen is safe here. It's threatening the knight. The knight assumably will move, giving me this pawn, and that does leave them a legal move. Either one of those pawns can move. Oh, and their king can move. Okay. Well, because I didn't want to stalemate them. So I have to be careful. Now, I'm going to bring my other pawn, because that looks like the easiest way to end this. They're not running out of legal moves, are they? They can move their king to either of those squares, or this square, or back here. In fact, they could just keep shuffling their king. Now, if they pull their other pawn, I'm just going to take it with my f pawn. Okay. Just making sure. I don't want to stalemate. Okay. They're asking my queen to move, which I will, but I want to be careful because they also have this. That's a check once I move my queen and they take my h pawn, and that opens up for their two passed pawns here. So I think I should check, or should I just slide right here? Yeah, that's safe. It still protects this pawn and it's attacking that one. Okay, think I'm good. They still have legal moves, but they are threatening another attack on my queen. But when they do that, I could always check them again. So I'm going to go get another queen here. Oh, well, I can check now. And they can attack my queen. But then again, I could check again. So I'm going to go ahead and promote to a queen, which leaves them multiple legal moves. Okay. Check. Check. Think they're going to go there. All right. Check. I'm going to run out of spots, I think. Okay, well, here I got the knight, so check. And then we're going to just mate this real quick like so. All right, well, I did really good at ignoring the bot's chat. I assume it was chatting up there. That game was difficult for me. There were probably opportunities that I missed. I'm going to click Save Game. I'm going to run the game review. We'll find out what, if anything, I did wrong. Okay, I played pretty well. As we discovered in the last video, this analysis board reverts to my original theme, unlike the turf, the green thing over there that was a little bit weird. But this looks so sharp and good to me now after looking at that green screen for a while. All right, I had one mistake and 4 inaccuracies, but from the graph, it does look like I was ahead the entire time. I'm just going to run through a few of the moves and see where I went ahead. It looks like my mistake was right around there where I let it get back to even. We'll see it when we see it. Yeah, d5 is among my best responses here. Knight to f6 or knight to c6, it says, is fine here. Again, because that pawn is protected by my queen. It settled a knight to c6, but this turns out to be fine, and the game review thought it was best. They're supposed to take the queen all the way back to its home square, but they didn't. It was h6. h6 is my top move. Good. I was supposed to keep harassing the queen. It didn't make one of its better moves. It went there. Oh, and I was supposed to go ahead and play e6 here? No, it's changed its mind. Knight b to d7 is there, e6 is there, and a6 is there. They keep changing order, but they're all pretty close. And the one it settled on is the one I played. Okay, I don't feel bad about that then. And this time the bot did make its best move, aiming for this pawn, which restricts my bishop's movement temporarily. But I was supposed to keep going after it. Knight to e4 was best. Best. Stockfish has settled on putting this e-knight back where it was. Or c6 to help buttress that pawn, I guess, or e5. But I put the other knight over there, and it said that's fine. The evaluation stays about the same. One of the better moves was to put the queen back there, so now I can't attack it with the knight anymore, with either knight. And I should have just played e5 here, but I played e6. I think if I had to guess, I would say the reason that e5 is better because it does allow the bishop out to one of its normal squares and the other bishop, whereas e6 blocks in one of my bishops. And it allows them to immediately chase the knight. Well, I thought they might, and then I would just put the knight back here. But they didn't. They got out that knight for no reason whatsoever. I still have a good advantage. Bishop to d6. I should have just got this out now, but I wanted that square to be reserved for moving the knight back. Because I thought if I took that square, and they did play d3, and then I had to go over here, then they would play d4. I guess I then could have brought it back here to d7. I guess that would have been okay. But that's why I did that instead of d6. They're still supposed to play d3. They didn't. Castling is among my better moves. Where's my mistake? Well, okay, that was listed as a mistake for them. I figured that it was e5 or c5. I did play one of those, and that's when I realized that this pawn was undefended. Is queen to d6? Queen to d6 is one of my best moves, although c5 would have been fine, and they probably wouldn't have taken, according to Stockfish. I think that they would, but I don't know. What would c5 have done? It says they would have played f3 then, but then I could have brought the knight back. Wait, it says I wouldn't. It says if I played c5, they played f3, then I would play queen to c7, letting the knight go, and they wouldn't take it. Okay, well, I was playing a bot here, but if I was playing a human, I would expect them to take that knight once they moved that f-pawn, so I would move the knight. But anyway, I did bring my queen up here, that's fine. That's not fine. I'm supposed to play bishop to g4 now. Oh, but then they would fork my pieces. Yeah, it says that they would. And then I would play knight to g3, oh, forking their pieces. Okay. But no, bishop to g4 has dropped a little bit. Now I'm supposed to play knight to g3 now, and then they would take it. And then I would play bishop to g4 and win their queen, because they can block it. Oh, okay. I get that. Get that. If I just play this here now, which is a fork, it would pretty much be any reasonable person would take my knight at that point, because otherwise they would lose either the queen or the rook for the knight. And when they took it, then there's nothing stopping my bishop to g4 and no way to get in front of that. Neither their knight nor their bishop nor anything else, and I would win their queen for it. Okay, I get that. I would have to sacrifice a knight for it, but I didn't see it. They played b4, trying to encourage me. Yeah, it's saying, go ahead and put your bishop over there, but I'm not going to see that because it's pretty complicated. Okay, yeah, that wasn't great. They were supposed to take it instead of putting their bishop over. Oh, and I was supposed to just go forward. Interesting, but instead I defended. Because when I play with especially with the black pieces, I am more defensive-minded than offensive-minded. Again, they were supposed to take my c-pawn, but they didn't. Then I saw knight to g3 because they undefended that square, and it is my best move now. But I still haven't seen my mistake, right? I just saw some inaccuracies on my part. Where was my mistake? Oh, my mistake was e6. Okay, that was my only mistake. I was still looking for it and forgot that I'd already seen it. That's a little embarrassing, but it's my second best move. I think that should have been counted as inaccurate rather than as a mistake. Going from 0.7 to 0.5 is not a very big percentage. Yeah, so that shouldn't have been counted as a mistake. See, the game review thought I was at minus 1.4 here and went to 0.4. That would be a mistake, and that's why it counted that as. But I wasn't at 1.4. I was at 0.6 or 0.7, and this took me, oh, it's a little lower now. It was 0.4 earlier. Oh, it's jumped. No, it's jumping back and forth. 0.2.5. Okay, 0.3 approximately. Still, I think that's inaccurate. But I did beat the 1200 rated bot. Once again, I don't know how long these will be up here, and I don't think I want to go to the next one. What's the next one rated? The next one is Witch, rated 1500. I have only ever beaten one or two 1500 rated bots, and so I'm certainly not going to play it now. If they're still here in a few days, I might give it a shot, just for entertainment purposes only. Thank you for spending your time here. Hopefully you're doing better at chess as well, and I'll see you next time.